Right now you can see basically my wellies. You can see everything now, can't you? You can see the entire world. Because now I've gone over to ultra wide, all stabilisation deactivated, and now this is the widest field of view. We're now at a focal length equivalent of 8mm. Right, so in today's video I'm going to take a closer look at the field of views which the DJI Osmo Action 6 has to offer there. So it's important to choose the right field of view when you're filming there. Let's just say you're vlogging. I always vlog in 4K 30 Standard Dewarp. That gives me a 15mm focal equivalent, and I find that's really usable whilst vlogging at this distance, what you're seeing right now. It's not too wide and it's not too punched in, and with that Standard Dewarp field of view there, I don't get those bowed barrel warped edges like you do when you just select wide field of view. And then another good example, let's just say you're mountain biking there. You want the widest field of view, but not too much barreled edges, so I'd always select wide, and you're going to get 12mm focal equivalent there. When it's on the chest harness, you want to make sure you've got all the handlebars in frame, and most of your ride, because you want to be viewing that. You don't want to have it, let's just say, in linear. It's going to be chopping the handlebars off, and it's going to look far too narrow there. So you want a wide field of view, what hasn't distorted the edges so much, so I'd select wide when mountain biking. So first of all, I'm going to get the Action 6 on a tripod, and I'm going to be filming the ruins. I've chose this place today for this field of view because it's a great location for this, because we've got straight lines. So as I toggle through those field of views, you're going to see the screen widening and narrowing, and also keep an eye on the edges there as we get that barreled effect on some of the field of views there. And then when I'm done with the static subject behind me, I'm going to film myself in a vlogging style like I always do, exactly how far you see in the camera away from my face right now, and then I'm going to toggle again through all those field of views so you can see which one's the best one for you. Let's get filming. Here we go. Okay, so first of all we need to find the field of views. So in the bottom left you'll just tap that icon, and you want to be in video mode, and then we'll just scroll up from the bottom, hit the icon at the top right, and there you're going to see your field of views to the right, as you can see it changing on screen there. So the very first one we come to is Standard Dewarp, and we'll take the stabilisation off, because what happens when you take the stabilisation off is that field of views is going to change. So let's just say, for example, we've got Standard Dewarp, and with that stabilisation deactivated, we're at 14mm. And then as soon as I activate RockSteady, that field of view jumps to 15mm. So I'm going to toggle through all those today so we can see the differences. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at right now is Standard Dewarp with all stabilisation deactivated. And we're going to get a focal equivalent there of 14mm. And now I'll just switch over to the Action 6, and this is what it looked like. And you'll see with that 14mm focal equivalent and the Standard Dewarp, we can't quite get all the building in frame there. So now let's toggle to the next one and see how wide it goes. Right, so the next one in line, we're keeping Standard Dewarp, but as I've just said, once I punch in with RockSteady, now we're going to get a focal equivalent of 15mm. Now this is what I vlog in, so I'll just switch over to the Action 6 right now. And now we're at 15mm, that's punched in more than that 14mm. And then whilst we're still in Standard Dewarp, I'll go to RockSteady Plus, and as you've seen on the screen there, that punches in again. Now we're at 17mm. So I'll switch over to the Action 6 and let you see what that looks like. So now we're on the Action 6, and that's 17mm, and you can see that's punched in a lot more than Standard Dewarp when all stabilisation's deactivated there. And now we're still in Standard Dewarp. The next one's Horizon Balancing and Horizon Steady. I'm not going to cover those because I've already done an in-depth video covering Horizon Balancing and Horizon Steady with the Action 6. So just have a look in my playlist and it'll take you straight to it. And the next one in line is the new one, and this is Natural Wide, and you can see straight away on the screen we've got all the ruins in frame there. This is a really wide field of view. We're going to get 11mm right now. And now I'll switch over to the Action 6 so you can really see how wide that is. As you can see there, we've got all that building in frame, because that is really wide at 11mm, and it's a natural wide, and those edges won't be as distorted as if it was in that normal wide, which we're going to be seeing next. Okay, so now I'm going to activate RockSteady while still in natural wide, and as you can see that's punched in slightly now with the RockSteady. Now we're at 12mm, and once again I'll flick over to the Action 6 so you can view that. And now you can see with that natural wide with RockSteady enabled, it's punched in slightly. And now while still in natural wide, we'll jump to RockSteady Plus. And as you can see straight away on the back of the screen there, that's punched in to 16mm. So that's really punched in now. Now let's go over to the Action 6 and take a look at it. And as you can see on the Action 6 there, that's punched way further than the natural wide when all stabilisation is deactivated. So with the RockSteady Plus, that's really punched in there to that focal equivalent of 16mm. Right, so now we're going to switch over to the next one in line, which is wide. All stabilisation deactivated. Now we've got a focal length there of 10mm. But you're going to see slightly barrelled edges there on this wide. The wide field of view doesn't concentrate on keeping straight lines. This is just going to barrel those edges, and you'll really notice it when you get closer to a subject with straight lines. So this is what 10mm looks like with that wide field of view with stabilisation all switched off. And now, while still in wide, we'll select that RockSteady, and as you can see once again that's punched in, and now we're at a focal length equivalent of 12mm. And now, while still in wide, let's go to RockSteady Plus. And straight away on the back of the screen, see that punch in? Now we're at a focal length equivalent of 17mm, so it's really punching in now. Right, so now it's time to switch over to the next field of view, which is ultra wide. All stabilisation deactivated, as you can see on the left there. And now this is the widest field of view of all, as now we're at 8mm, and you can really see the distortion on the edges there. I don't think I'd ever use this, to be fair, unless I was in an open countryside, because anything with any straight lines is just going to look way too barrelled for me. Right, so now you're viewing that 8mm with that ultra wide activated, all stabilisation deactivated, and look how wide that is, and the straight path which is in front, that's even looking bowed. Like I say, I'd never use this when I'm around any kind of structure for obvious reasons. Look how warped it gets. Right, so now we're still in ultra wide, but let's step it up to RockSteady now, and you could see that punching straight away. So now we've got that focal length equivalent of 11mm. So we've jumped from 8mm to 11 just by hitting that RockSteady there. And now last of all, we're still in ultra wide, but we're going to switch over to RockSteady Plus. And as you can see, that's punched in massively again from that 8mm. We're now at 17mm. RockSteady Plus ultra wide. Right, so now I've brought the camera inside amongst the ruins. Again, we've got some straight lines either side of me. So what you're viewing right now is all stabilisation deactivated, Standard Dewarp, and this is a focal equivalent there of 14mm. So this should look usable, and we shouldn't have much bowing in those edges. And now I'm stood in the exact same place, but now I've enabled RockSteady. So it's RockSteady Standard Dewarp, the focal length at 15mm. This is what I always vlog in, like I said earlier. I find it really usable. It's not too close, it's not too far away there. And you'll see that the edges, you may see slight bow with Standard Dewarp, but not half as much as if it was set to wide. And once again, I'm stood in the exact same position. I'm being very precise here. Just scored a little line here on the floor. So I'm making sure I'm in the same position for you to get this fair comparison throughout the field of views. So now I've got the RockSteady Plus enabled, still in Standard Dewarp. Now it's punched in, as you can see, to a focal length equivalent there of 17mm. And now I've switched over to the field of view natural wide, and this is the focal length equivalent of 11mm, and all stabilisation's deactivated. So now we're still in natural wide, but I've enabled RockSteady, and now it's punched into that focal equivalent of 12mm. So once again, it's just bumped it up by 1mm there. But in the camera world, that's quite significant, as that's chopped in quite a bit there. And now I'm still in that native wide, but as you can see, it's punched in a lot more, because now I've enabled RockSteady Plus, and now this is 16mm focal equivalent. And now I moved over to the next field of view, very precise, still stood on the scored mark here. This is a focal length equivalent of 10mm, and all stabilisation's deactivated. Again, we're in the field of view wide now. And now we're still in the wide field of view, but I've enabled RockSteady, so it's punched in slightly there. You're now viewing the focal length equivalent of 12mm. And now I'm still in wide. As you can see, it's punched in massively. No, I'm joking. Preciseness. Right, so now we're in wide. RockSteady Plus enabled, I forgot. Right, now as you can see, we're still in that wide frame. RockSteady Plus is enabled, and it's punched in massively, as I can see on the front OLED screen there. We're now at 17mm focal equivalent. Right now you can see basically where well is. You can see everything now, can't you? You can see the entire world. Because now I've gone over to ultra wide, all stabilisation deactivated, and now this is the widest field of view. We're now at a focal length equivalent of 8mm. And now you can see we've got lots more in the frame, but any straight lines, as you can see, are going to be very warped there. And now we're still in ultra wide, I've enabled RockSteady, but now it's punched in to 11mm. And now finally, thank God, we're now on the last one there. We're still in that ultra wide, RockSteady Plus is enabled, and now you can see that's punched really close in to a focal length of 17mm. But as you can see from the edges, they get really bowed, no matter if you punched out there 8mm to this 17. I would never use ultra wide, especially around a structure or any straight lines walking through buildings, and I'll show you that in a minute. I'll go on ultra wide and walk through a doorway. It's like you're going through a sphere, not a straight edge doorway there. Right, so like I just said, I'm going to show you that barreled edges at its worst. This is the focal length equivalent now of 8mm. I'm on ultra wide and I've deactivated all stabilisation. And you see as you walk through a doorway there, look how round that becomes on the edges, especially there. It's just completely unusable, isn't it? I hate that look, to be fair. It's almost like a circle. So that's the worst case scenario. Now I'll switch over to that Standard Dewarp at 15mm, which I always vlog in, and you'll see, you may, if you really analyse it, see slight bow, but nowhere near as that. It's almost a circle, that, isn't it? So I'll switch over to that Dewarp 15mm and show you that one. And now I've switched over to Standard Dewarp, and as I walk through the same doorway, as you can see there, we're looking pretty straight. And if you really analyse it, it does bow very slightly. It's not 100% straight and true, like as if it was selected in linear. By the way, you don't get linear on the Action 6. Linear was in the other older models, but I'm used to saying that because I used to use that back in the day, but now it's Standard Dewarp for me. But the linear profile, that keeps everything straight and true. And to be fair, Standard Dewarp does a great job of that, but like I say, if you get really close to an edge, you'll see slight bowing there. So that were just two opposite ends of the spectrum there. Went to that ultra wide at 8mm, and you could see just not usable, makes these edges really bowed. And then back to this almost straight flat profile, no bowing edges. Like I say, if you really analyse it, you'll see slight bow there, but hardly any in the Standard Dewarp at 15mm. So like I said, my personal preference whilst vlogging is 4K 30 Standard Dewarp. I've been doing that for many years. Back in the day when we used to have linear on cameras, I used to use that, but I did find linear punched in slightly an hour here, and I used to vlog when I first started out on the Pocket 2 and Pocket 3, and that's, I think, that's 20mm, I think. Yeah, it's 20mm focal equivalent there on the Pocket 3. We can get that lens which makes it to 15mm, which magnetically snaps on. Why have I still got it so close? So I think at arm's length here, 30-40 centimetres away, Standard Dewarp is the great field of view whilst vlogging. So just to recap on those field of views there, if you want a really wide field of view, you can choose ultra wide at 8mm deactivated stabilisation, of course, but that's going to be way too wide. Let's just say you're indoors. As you've seen back there, you're going to get really warped edges. Now if you like that look, go for that look, but personally I'd never use it. I'd say never. I'd use it where I am right now. So this is that 8mm ultra wide, all stabilisation deactivated, and because I'm in an open space, you can't really notice those beveled, warped edges there. You've just got a lot more in the frame. So this is where I would use it, but I'd probably punch it in towards my face a little bit more. But it starts making it look a bit weird because of that warped effect you get there. Now if you choose the wrong field of view, if you're just getting into it, let's just say you hit ultra wide and you're going around some ruins like I am and filming, you're going to get back and almost things are unusable. You can have a massive headache there in post and you'll be able to iron that out, but you don't really want to be doing that, do you? Because you're going to be, well, it's just going to be wasting lots of time whilst editing. So always choose that right field of view to start with. If it means practicing against any straight doorways like right now in front of me, you want the straightest edge possible like I do. So that's why I've got this Standard Dewarp effect, which I always use, and that's the focal length equivalent there, 15mm. As you can see, nothing's really bowed. If you get you can really analyse it and it's slightly bowed, but it's not really noticeable. So in short, if you're vlogging, use the Standard Dewarp 15mm. Any action sports there, wide or ultra wide, but just be careful. If you're going through trees, I'd choose wide. If it's just open landscape, ultra wide or wide. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel. There's going to be plenty more helpful videos on the horizon, especially with testing out this Action 6. I'm going to be drilling into it there like I have in this video today and really simplifying each mode there. But for now, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.